Welcome to the 2016 Masters Tour. Excited to have so many of you back with us, and hopefully a bunch of you here with us for the first time. So just what you need to know about the Masters Tour, this is our third year. We had 2014, had a number of events, 2015, doubled those events, 2016, we hope to double those again. And what the goal of the Masters Tour is a competitive outlet for Masters. Awesome. So Garage Games, we've been involved with events since 2010. Yep, CrossFit did exist then, and we were part of it. So what we were doing back then was all RX and scale. We started adding Masters divisions at just 40 plus, and you get 2 to 3 people who would show up, and you got a 40-year-old competing against a 68-year-old, and it just didn't seem fair. So now, even though the event that you go to may only have yourself or a couple other people in your division, depending on if you're in a fringe division or a mainstream, pipeline division, but by the end of the year, that singular leaderboard that continues to be populated with everyone else at every other event doing your division, now you get a comparison. That's valuable and cool. So that's why we do it. So there you are. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your participation in the Masters Tour. Now, this year for 2016, the workouts. And first off, we named these as WOD number 1, the couplet, WOD number 2, the triplet. My creativity does go beyond that, I will say that, but for this purpose, it's just simple for everyone to reference it really quick. Hey, I added the word grip to the word chipper for WOD number 3, the grip chipper. I want to point out that depending on the event that you go to and the size of that event, it is possible that you might not do these workouts in that same order. If I'm an event host and I've got 200 people coming to work out, I'm probably going to start 2 workouts at the same time, meaning someone's going to start workout 2 before workout 1. Good news for you, it's all going to work out pretty similar this year. So with that, let's jump into the first WOD, which could be the one that destroys you the most. Interesting workout, 9, 6, 12, 3, 18 is the rep count. I know, I was all over the board there and you don't understand why. You will when you test this workout. So what you're doing is an any squat and shoulder to overhead. And what the any squat means is that you can do a front squat or a back squat. It's up to you. Yet the shoulder to overhead is from the front rack position. So the barbell has to make it back to the front rack position before you initiate shoulder to overhead movement. With that, you can get it back over your head from a back squat position by doing a push press slightly over the head, return it, and then begin shoulder to overhead, or you could drop the bar to the floor, turn around, grab it, reclean it. It's whichever one makes the most sense. But with that rep count, what you can see is that for some of you, you're going to get really close to never dropping the barbell, or some of you actually won't ever drop the barbell because you can use the back squat position as a resting position. Pretty cool to see. Some of you, you'll say, that's crazy, there's no way I'm holding that barbell the whole time. So you want to check all of the weights specific to your division by going to mastersrock.com. That's it, www.mastersrock, because you rock.com. All right, cool. So that's the first workout. It's a timed workout. You're going to rush through that thing as fast as you can, and then you're going to be wiped out. Workout 1 in the books. So then we get to WOD number 2. WOD number 2, the triplet, is an AMRAP. 10 minutes total time, and you're going to escalate your rep count on this triplet by 3s, starting with 3. So the first one, ring dips. Obviously, not all divisions will be doing ring dips. You'll have hand release push-ups in some divisions. And what it is, you've got 3 ring dips, 3 burpees to a plate, and then 3 overhead lunge steps that are stationary only. There's no walking progression in the lunge steps. They have to be done stationary. So 3 ring dips, 3 burpees to a plate. On the burpee to a plate, key things to remember. You have to jump to the to the plate from 2 feet leaving the ground at the same time and 2 feet landing on the plate at the same time. The 2 feet do not have to be side by side when you jump on the plate. And when you hit the top of the plate, you only have to get your toes on the plate. It doesn't, not the full foot, doesn't matter. We don't judge that piece. The only other consideration in these burpees is that no part of your body, or if I were to draw a rectangle around my shoulders down, no part of that rectangle can be over top of the plate during the burpee. So I can't have my forehead over the plate, it's part of my head. The rectangle starts at the shoulders. My shoulder can't be over the plate, nor can I spread my legs apart and have the space in between my legs be over the plate. That's part of the rectangle. So you have to be on the side or facing with your head off of the edge of that plate for the burpee. And of course, we know chest has to be down to the deck, base of the sternum. So that's our burpee. Once you're up on the plate with 2 feet, you can step off. If you want, you can jump off straight into another burpee. No required extension on top of the plate, so you don't have to stand up. The overhead lunge steps. Grab that plate, hold it overhead. It can be locked out, doesn't have to be locked out, but no part of the plate can be breaking the plane made by a straight line horizontally across the top part of the head. The highest part of the head, no part of the plate can be below that part of the head. So it's got to be held overhead, can't rest it on the head then. And then it's a forward lunge step. So you'll step forward and then return that foot back to standing straight. Step forward, return it back to standing straight. When you're standing straight, the hip has to be open. So knees and hips are open. And you're stepping forward and then coming back. Stepping forward. The knee has to touch, of course, the ground on the lunge. So, again, for all of the weights on the overhead lunge, check out, yes, Masters Do Rock. MastersRock.com. And then from there, you'll see all of the divisions and all of the breakdown, exactly how you need to see it to know what your workout is. 3 of each, 6 of each, 9 of each, 12, 15, 18, 21, as far as you can possibly go in 10 minutes. WOD 2, in the books. WOD number 3, the grip chipper. So you start out with 10 burpee box overs. After that, you're going to go to 20 toes to bar. We have some substitutions there with knees up and sit-ups depending on the division. So that's a good thing as well. 30 cleans, power or squat if you would need to squat. 30. They're pretty heavy in the RX divisions at 155 for the younger guys. The next thing you have are 40 pull-ups, chest to bars, regular pull-ups, ring rows, because we are going to have rings. And in the ring rows, we will go through the standards for the ring row for you as well. After those 40, we get to 50 kettlebell swings. More grip, all about the grip. And once you get through 50 kettlebell swings, 60 double unders, fly through those bad boys in a heartbeat, and then back to the top, 10 burpee box overs. Now with this, the key thing to get is that the time is 12-minute AMRAP. Guarantee if you can get through this thing and get back to the beginning again, which some divisions have done, you will score well. So you approach this with intensity all through full 12 minutes, and you'll do a great job. So let's go back over those movements. We want to make sure we understand that burpee box over and what that looks like. We want to understand that what the 20 toes to bar are going to look like. And the toes to bar, one of the key things with that is that you got to make sure we have full open heels behind the plane of the bar at the bottom. Both toes touch at the same time up top. Any grip is fine for that as long as we get full extension. 30 cleans, standing straight, elbows flash in front of the bar. Pretty simple. We understand how to do that. And then our 40 pull-ups. Chest to the bar is going to be clavicles are below, touch the bar. Otherwise, regular pull-ups, we got to get our chin over the bar. We'll get you to the ring rows in just a second. After the 40 pull-ups, Our 50 kettlebell swings, arms are in a straight line with the bell, all overhead, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows. And then lastly, double unders are always double unders. Simple as that. So that is the WOD. Just fight through that thing as many times as you can. Now let's talk about those scaled movements. So as we look at the standards for the ring rows, you're going to stand straight and lower the ring down until the top of the ring is at the line of your nipple or the bottom of your sternum. Then standing with your heels directly below the rings, legs will be straight. So you're going to grab those rings, lean back so your heels are directly below the rings. Legs have to stay straight with heels on the ground. Heels have to stay on the ground. Full extension of elbows at the bottom so you're straight armed, and then when you come to the top, the rings must contact the chest. You can kip, but you cannot bend your knees. Kipping from the hips and the torso, basically. And just like that, now you can do a ring row the correct way. So guys, that's it. 3 great workouts to demonstrate your fitness. I will say this, Masters Tour events are the best events of all the events I've been to because everyone is the same. We're all masters. We're there, we appreciate the social time. There's not a whole lot of hype over, oh, I'm better than you, and just that whole thing. It doesn't happen. We're just there to just generate some fun and compete. And I tell you, it's fantastic. I've been to a bunch of these events now, run a bunch of these events, competed in a bunch of these events, and I really, really, really have to say there's nothing quite as nice as being in a room full of people who are like-minded and in the same stage of life. So I would totally encourage you to not only be signed up, as you probably are as you watch this, encourage your friends locally and around the country, and if they don't have a Masters Tour event where they are, then get someone in touch with us. They can email me, D-R-E-R-I-C, Dr. Eric, D-R-E-R-I-C, at thegaragegames.com, and we will get them all set up to host a Masters Tour event as well. Thanks. We appreciate you a ton. Oh, divisions. That's 30 years old, by the way. Masters are 30 years old now. It's crazy. But we know that 30-year-olds don't necessarily always like to compete with 21-year-olds who've been doing this for 10 years. I get it.